Hello, everyone. Welcome to From Heroes to Icons. This is the full first appearance of Jason. Hope this is a collectible commodity. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I'm showing my full self for the first time. But we're going to be talking about something that Reggie collects. And what's his name? Comics Explained is talking about not having physical copies of comic books. I guess he's not a comic book collector, but who really cares? And Reggie was inclined to make a video about it. So I wanted to make a video about it. But the thing is, you have to have someone that's younger, that's part of the digital age to talk to have a full understanding of why we should have physical copies of comic books as opposed to digital copies. And before I call my special guest, on, Reggie and both Comics Explained was saying, why should we have comic book stores? You know, and I guess Comics Explained tweeted that, he didn't see the reason why we should have comic book stores in the age of tablets and digital distribution and such. But that's neither here nor there. So, without any further ado, after my first full appearance, you get another first full appearance in this episode. Isn't that fantastic? Or isn't that what we collect comic books for? I'm going to bring out my daughter. Welcome, Janae.
Hi.
All right.
Subscribe and tell all your friends from Heroes to Icons.
See, this is digital age. I don't know nothing about this stuff. But anyway, I had talked to you about what Reggie collects.
Yeah.
I was talking about economics and comics. Don't hate me, Dave. Bill, everybody's name I get confused. But anyway, Comics Explained. So, for a young person, you're much younger than me, even though we both look young. My skin. Black on crack. But anyway, as a young person, would you rather have digital content on a tablet or a phone, or would you like to have the physical copies?
Me, personally, I would prefer the physical copy.
Physical copies. So, have you ever been to a comic store?
Yes.
Have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
Yes.
See, I'm raising my daughter right. So, me personally, I didn't read the tweet. I actually thought it was on a video because I caught Reggie Collects a little later during the video, even though the video was only 15 minutes long, that he was saying that Comics Explained had tweeted, why do we need physical comic book stores? And me personally, you have to understand that when you're as popular as a person as Comics Explained, and you have millions of people following you on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and also on YouTube, excuse me, a lot of people tend to listen to you and take what you say as facts. And you have to, as they say, tweet responsibly. You don't want to be like the president, right? And just say whatever you feel. But I brought my daughter on to get her input and her opinion about why we should have physical comic books. So I got one comic book here. I wasn't bringing out all my stuff. This is my first time. I'm shy. But and I got my tablet here with a book on it. It's not a comic book, but a book nonetheless. Just to show you an example of what the difference is. But me personally, I've been collecting comic books for over 35 years. Really dealing with the same comic book store for almost 35 years on and off. And to tell you the truth, I collect more than just comics, regular books, etc. I do read novels on my tablet and on my phone, but I do prefer a physical hard copy. And I do have plenty of those too. Stay tuned for a video of that. But I'm doing a whole lot of talking. What do you think?
It's fine. Me, personally, I have nothing against the digital age. Like, for some people, it is more easier for them to read because, for some people, the book, they don't want to flip and stuff. They just want to swipe it and everything. That's just how a lot of people are. They prefer to swipe it instead of holding it in their hand. For me, I like having the hardcover in my hand so I can actually read. I feel like I'm bonding with the book. Like, I'm really getting into it. I feel like there's more life to it when you have it in your hands. Like, you can really feel what's going on.
And that's what actually put a comment during the live chat to Reggie. And And I said, he said something like that, and you actually feel like a connection to it when you actually see it, when you actually hold it in your hand. Yeah. And you can tell when you go into the unfinished comic book room that there is a smell to it. And I think somebody said that was the paper deteriorating or something like that. But nonetheless, that's why we buy Mylar. But, you know, it's because you can actually feel it. And it brings you, like, closer, I guess, to the creator.
Yeah.
Especially if they, like, nowadays they draw a lot of stuff digital. But if they actually drew it and I actually, you know, wrote it on whatever, when you get an autograph from them and you actually have the, you know, you can't, you know, you can't ask them to sign your tablet. You know what I mean? Like, even, you know, if you have a digital movie, you can't ask, because Comics Explained interviewed Tom Holland and the rest of the cast from Spider-Man Far From Home. You can't be like, sign my digital copy of Spider-Man Far From Home. You can't do that. But if you have a physical copy of it, you know, you can sign the cover of it or whatever. And it's a keepsake. But I guess he's not a collector, and that's what I was, you know, he was talking just like, well, he's not a collector, and he's not called Comics Collected. He's called Comics Explained. So he explains comic books, but not necessarily that he doesn't collect them. But and if he reads all of them on digital, and I guess to me, when people were like, oh, he doesn't collect comic books, I was just like, well, I didn't think he collected comic books because every video he makes, he has like pages of the book in it. Yeah. So I'm like, if he has that many digital copies of a comic, he probably does. And if you guys have watched his other comics and you see his background, he has no comic book stuff anywhere. Nowhere. So I'm like, if he doesn't have like pictures up and statues and stuff like that, there's a 97% chance that he doesn't.
I can understand why people do feel some type of way, because it's the same thing with like any type of reviewer, a manga reviewer, anime reviewer, movie reviewers. Like if you don't have some type of something that has to do with that movie or movies or anime or manga, it's just like, are you into it or are you just doing it for the yeah, like if you don't at least have a little bit, like you don't have to have a whole room full of like everything, but like maybe like a little things, a little statue. Well, well, you could listen. You could, but you do.
Stuff.
But usually, if you don't see a lot of it in it, it's either people will think like, oh, are they not in it as much? Are they just doing it for the views? Are they just doing it because it's something they like? Or do they have some type of liking? Like, do you have some type of momentum towards that? What you're talking about?
Right. That's another thing, because in other people's videos, you're like,
yeah, because that's how I feel when I see like anime reviewers and manga reviewers. I'm like, oh snap, they got the figurines in the background. I'm like, yo, what book is that they got?
They got something. And like Reggie, he has a, I guess you call it the Wall of Fame with all his slabs, like actually on the wall. And in the distance, you can see what he has changed over there. Now he got a lot of independent books. I know he has I was surprised that he had a graded Pit #1 up there. It's only worth like $5. Surprised, Reggie. Thought you only had grails and keys, but you're a regular comic book collector. But anyway, I'm going to show you this book here, and she's going to hold up the tablet just so you can see. And really, the tablet that I have is almost the same size as a comic book, but a bag and board, the paper and everything, the smell, it's just different. And this is Captain America 275. I think this is the first modern appearance of Baron Zemo, I think.
I believe so.
And it's a really super dope cover. You'll believe I just got this in the mail recently. And I should have showed you, as what's the Comic Vantage says, it came in the package of shame. And it was tore up. It was tore up. I didn't know if the book was going to make it. But, yeah, you know.
It's so beautiful.
Old paper. Mike Zeck artwork. You know, look at that.
They don't make them like they used to anymore.
You know, even, I really wish they made newsprint comic books. This stuff is really, really good. Look at that. Don't be offended. It's Captain America versus the Nazis. I think he's been fighting the Nazis since '63. Ah, there he is. Baron Zemo. Don't worry about me handling the book. I'm going to get another one. And she's going to pay for it. Maybe not. And show the book, baby.
and this is the House of Blades. I have not read it yet, but he has recommended it for me on many occasions.
Highly recommend. By Will White, one of the most greatest of the modern literature masters nowadays. But, okay, you can put it down, I guess. They don't want to read it. But anyway, you should tweet responsibly, YouTube responsibly, Instagram responsibly, and Facebook responsibly, especially if you have a gazillion followers and you have people just waiting with bated breath on every single word that you say. That we may not want to think of it that way, but we need to be responsible. We need to understand that people are inclined to hear what we have to say. Be like, oh, that's silly. But just like, some people are, just this is the world that we live in, that they look for answers on the internet and not necessarily are looking for the answers themselves. Hopefully, you guys have watched this. More than one person have watched it. And we're going to do this again. I'm going to have another special guest very soon, as she suggested, and that's going to be my wife. And we'll probably be reviewing some old books, because she was just like, well, we got to talk about the books that I looked at already. And she hasn't read a comic book in like 20 years. But, and I'm going to bring John May back for some manga reviews and stuff. All I got is old stuff. So I guess I'll have to purchase some stuff for her. And shout out to the boy who had 7. I'm the boy who had 4. So, got anything to say, John?
No.
All right, that is it. And I will catch you guys at the same bat time and at the same bat channel.